Information about GMO foods is all aflutter these days in social media outlets such as Twitter and Facebook. GMO is a huge topic of discussion among foodies and real food advocates, particularly when it comes to how they affect our health. First off, this little video is not intended to be the end-all be-all about GMO. Our point here is simple practicality, to tell you what we believe you need to know about GMO, as well as our thoughts on the topic. If you're looking for more information, you can easily find a lot more stuff in articles around the web. Now that being said, let's cut to the chase and tell you exactly what you should know about GMO. So what is GMO? GMO is an acronym for the term genetically modified organism. A GMO is made by means of genetic engineering. The GMO process consists of taking genes from one species and inserting them into another in an attempt to obtain a desired trait or characteristic. The process is also known as genetic engineering or genetic modification, sometimes abbreviated GE or GM, but they're one and the same. The two main traits that have been added to GMO crops to date are herbicide tolerance and the ability of the plant to produce its own pesticide. So, what do you need to know about GMO? Herbicide tolerance, which is one of the main reasons for GMO, makes a crop immune to spray pesticides such as Roundup. Genetically modified products are highly sprayed with herbicides and many other strong pesticides. These toxins cause serious damage within the human body. A GMO plant that produces its own pesticide will kill or deter insects and render the plant toxic. Some GMO foods contain antibiotic-resistant marker genes that can adversely affect gut bacteria. GMO foods contain newly created proteins that are foreign to the human body. How they affect the body is still unknown. GMO foods to date have no nutritional benefit, only economic benefit. Currently, around 80% of our food in the United States contains genetically modified ingredients. GMO foods have never been legitimately tested on humans. Various feeding studies in animals have resulted in potentially precancerous cell growth, damaged immune systems, smaller brains, livers, and testicles, partial atrophy or increased density of the liver, odd-shaped cell nuclei, and other unexplained anomalies, false pregnancies, and higher death rates. The U.S. has no laws currently requiring labeling of genetically engineered foods, unlike most other developed countries such as 15 nations in the European Union, Japan, Australia, Brazil, Russia, and even China. So what are the most common GMO crops? Soy, sugar beets, from which we get white sugar, cotton, corn, canola, papaya, specifically Hawaiian, and squash, zucchini and yellow varieties. How to know if your food's GMO? Well, children's foods are the #1 GMO containing products. Many processed foods contain 90 to 100% genetically modified ingredients. Most all non-organic breads and other baked goods contain GM ingredients. Most non-organic chocolate, sweets, candy, gum, etc. contain GM ingredients. Most non-organically raised animal, meat, dairy, eggs, products contain GM ingredients. These animals are typically fed a diet that is 90% or greater GMO. Most non-organic beverages such as beer, wine, soft drinks, juices contain genetically modified ingredients. It's important to note that most of the processed fake foods out there contain the highest quantities of GMOs. For example, almost any processed food that you buy, breads, breakfast cereals, chips, cookies, crackers, cakes, and the like typically contain the most common GMO ingredients, which are soy, corn, sugar, and canola. It's safe to say, if you eat processed foods, chances are you're consuming GMOs. Remember, if food is medicine, and we believe it is, then it seems apparent that genetically modified food is bad medicine. Knowledge is power. Be aware of what you're eating and choose wisely for optimum health, wellness, and longevity. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We hope you found it helpful. If you'd like more information, check out our website at realfoodrx.com.